YouTube land, what's good? It's your boy B Heard, aka Brian, aka Prince Vegeta out the Hayden. If you don't know me, Future FGC commentator here to talk to you about Mortal Kombat 11, the reveal, my thoughts and opinions on it. Um, so this ain't for the week, but I don't think I'm gonna say anything too outrageous to have everybody up in arms. But be sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff on this video. I actually want to do a match analysis breakdown. I saw Honeybee do it. I saw a lot of people re-upload the reveal stream and the fights, so I kind of want to break it down and just give my opinions and thoughts on the game and just do it like that. So hopefully I could get away with that. I mean, if I can't, then I'll delete the videos immediately. But be sure to look out for that. So without further ado, let's talk about the reveal. Um, the order I kind of went in was kind of funky. I kind of just went to test your might and shouts out to them. I just went to where they had it and wrote about the stream, so I'm gonna just go like that. So the first thing I'm talking about is gear. 3 is greater than 5. With Injustice 2, they had 5 options and things you could choose, but in Mortal Kombat 11, it's more tied to it's more tied to the skins. So basically, you're just customizing the accessories. So I know for Scorpion, it's like his mask, not his whole helmet and the hood, but like his mask, his spear, and the sword. And I think for Sub Zero, it's the axe, it's the mask as well, and I forgot what the actual other option is for Sub Zero off the top of my head, but yeah, it's just basically the accessories, right? Um, I like that option. I like how they're kind of implementing skins into the game, and skins are going to be different from the colors, so you can still choose the color. So, say you like Scorpion's default skin, but you want it to be a different color, you can have that. So you have a red Scorpion and a green Sub Zero, and I'm all for that because I think it just only makes sense. They did that with Injustice 2. It'd be kind of weird just to have different tones of yellow for Scorpion. I want the full maximum ability to customize Scorpion in every possible way because there's like, what if Scorpion's your favorite character of all time? You love him to death, but you like him in black and red. Now you get that ability. So I think that's cool. I think you can make your Scorpion how you want to make your Scorpion. I always like that ability. I like how they toned it down so it's not too wacky because some things were kind of just butt ugly, but they had better stats, and then some things had crappy stats, but it was the coolest looking thing. So now it's not a stats thing; it's just more of an accessories thing, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Appearance, 10 out of 10. Game is the best looking fighting game I've ever seen in my life. I like what game is better? Like really, realistically, what game is better? This game doesn't even look like a game. It almost looks like a movie from the story mode trailers and things of that nature. That's all I can say. Story mode. Story mode looked interesting. Chronica. I hope I'm saying their name right. Chronica. It's one of those two. I probably feel like I said the same thing twice, but I don't know. But story mode, you fighting against your past self. Um, Basically, Chronica, the way that Raiden's going about things and how he's moving is he's messing up the original timeline. So Chronica's like, nah, this isn't how it's supposed to go. So I'm here to intervene and change it back. So essentially, you'll see like Revenant Kung Lao versus young Kung Lao. The Kung Lao that still aspires to be the great Kung Lao and things of that nature. And then you'll see the Dark King Liu Kang versus the Earth Realm Defender champion Liu Kang. So it's gonna be kind of sick. It's gonna be interesting to see uh, what they do as far as story mode goes. And actually, now that I think about it, I just thought about it like right this second. I think Sub Zero is gonna have an interesting kind of dilemma with this because if Noob Saibot's in the game, think about it. He's gonna be fighting his former self, so it's gonna be Sub Zero versus Noob Saibot. But then there's gonna be a Sub Zero there, and maybe Cyber Sub Zero, I don't know if he'll be a playable character like he was in 9, but he might play a factor too. So then we'll see Sub Zero's brother go against Cyber Sub Zero. So it's just the possibilities are endless in the story mode. And I actually kind of like that too because essentially it's hopefully that means you get to play everybody because usually it's just like the good guys beat up on the bad guys and the bad guys kind of alter some things and make some serious notes, but the good guys end up winning. So, you it's gonna be interesting, and that kind of segues into the roster, and the roster revealed the guaranteed uh, I want to say seven, no, eight characters that we know for sure are playable in, as far as tournaments gonna go, as far as offline's gonna go, and things of that nature, are Scorpion, Scarlet, Sub Zero, Baraka, Sonya, Garrus, and Shao Kahn. What do I think of this roster? It's good to see Scarlet back. It's good to see Baraka back. I think this is the best Baraka's ever looked and ever been. I'm actually excited to see how Baraka plays and how he's going to be in the current meta. Um, Scorpion and Sub Zero always look cool. Sonya look cool. Uh, there's some people that have their opinions about the face, but then when you think about it, if Sonya had, if Sonya had Cassie at 30, right? She would be at they advance. I don't know Cassie's exact age, but say since they advanced 25 years, right? Just go with 25 for the sake of example. She'd be 55. So yeah, she's older. She does look more of a grandma s type of character, so it makes sense entirely. I don't mind Sonya's design. I think Scarlet looks cool. I like her design as well. Um, and I think then again, it's going to take some time, right? Because the way that I was explaining is that was an October build, but even if it was a January build, they still have 3 months to repolish and make it look better because we've seen that happen. Case in point with Supergirl with Injustice 2. She didn't look the greatest, and then they made her look amazing when the game came out. And then even Aquaman, hell, they usually get both counterparts wrong. They usually get a male wrong and a female wrong, and we saw that case in point with Aquaman, and he looked even better when the game was finished and polished. So it's gonna take some time, but I don't think Sonya looks that bad. I think she looks fine, and I like Scarlett's new design. I mean, she has a design. There's people that was arguing her old design, but it was nothing but like a G string and a bra and a mask. Like there's no design to it whatsoever. So the fact that she actually has clothes on and she looks kind of more mysterious, and I like how it's like a Mad Max kind of s theme. I don't think there's an issue at all with that. So I don't know, but people got their different opinions, and so that's the eight that's guaranteed, right? There was hints at a lot of characters. Obviously, Chronica. There was hint at Cabal. There was hint at with the combat cast. Katana was hinted at in the behind the scenes trailer, and you saw her face. So obviously, her being part of the new Deadly Alliance, she's gonna be a character. Liu Kang, Kung Lao, they're both in the trailers. Noob Saibot was hinted at. And also, if they do this thing where it's like fighting your former self, Noob Saibot only makes sense since he's the first original Sub Zero. Cassie Cage, we saw her. She even said Katana's name, and it looked like an intro too. That might have been more of a story intro because I don't know if that's Cassie had this kind of brash personality, and to say this story takes place right after MKX, so I can't really see her not being brash and things of that nature. So I'm guessing that she's gonna be in it. She was the main protagonist in the last story mode, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the same case. Jax was hinted at. Jax was hinted at in a leak roster with Kano and I want to say Baraka. There was another character as well that got leaked in the actual roster, but I'm not too sure off the top of my head, so don't quote me on that. But Jade was hinted at as well. Jade was hinted at where I think Tweety when he was playing his match against Dragon. It said that Tweety wants to main Jade, so she has a good possibility of being in the game. Kano was hinted at with the the Black Dragon Fight Club. He was in the background, and also he was on one of the screens. Johnny Reptile. Johnny was hinted at in the behind the scenes thing as well, and Reptile was hinted at in the interview. Shao Kahn, and actually, I forgot my main man. My main man, who I think I want to main right now, is Rain. He was into that in the Conquer mode, and he was into that as well with the Sonic Fox thing. Um, so now that's actually 21 characters out of the 25 that we've seen on the main menu screen, and I just think that they're gonna bump it up to 30. I think Injustice kind of started out with 30 or so as well. And you figure Injustice had a lot of moves, but yeah, I think they're gonna have 30. I think it's just gonna be a safe bet. I think this is the initial roster, kind of get people talking to see where everybody's heads at. Because I mean, hell, that's 21 out of 25. And as far as the MK roster goes, that's not a bad roster at all. But it's just like, and now it seems like it's missing people because I want to see Kodo Khan. I definitely want to see Aaron Black. I want to see Melina. I want to see Devora, and that'd be the 25 right there. And I'm okay with that roster. But there's some people that want to see Fujin. There's people that want to see Havoc, Reiko. I don't think you'll see Reiko as much. I think maybe he'll be more of a skin, if anything, especially with Shao Kahn being in the game. Uh, yeah, I just want to see this roster kind of get fleshed out, especially since this is the best MK, especially since everybody looks amazing. I want to see kind of the gimmicks of what characters are gonna have. I think Noob Saibot, the Saibot part of Noob is gonna be insane, and they're gonna do wild stuff in this game. So I just want to see it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with that roster. Let me know what your thoughts. Besides the four that I mentioned with Belina, Aaron Black, Kodokan, and Devora, this is the hinted at, probably so morphly true roster because so far all the leaks have been correct. So it'd be Scorpion, Scarlet, Sub Zero, Baraka, Sonya, Gearus, Raiden, Chronica, Cabal, Katana, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Noob, Cassie, Jax, Jade, Kano, Johnny, Reptile, Shao Kahn, and Rain. I'm actually okay with the roster, but I kind of want to see the mystery bunch a little bit. I do want to see some of the characters from MK. The two from MKX, the two characters I was worried about from MKX that's probably not gonna make a return would be Jackie and like Ferritor. That's what I was thinking. But everybody else, I thought had a good shot. But we'll see. Um, let's get into the meat of the sandwich, shall we? The gameplay. The gameplay. The only thing I changed right now is probably the dash speed. So say if the dash speed's at 25%, I changed it to 50% because you don't want to change it too far. And I think that's the biggest. No, that, that is arguably the biggest difference in MK is the movement, and because you have a run button to where you have a stamina and you got to manage that stamina bar and stuff like that. So if you break, obviously you can't run because both characters can't run, but that was in the recent patch. But yeah, so I think the movement speed is kind of hurting some players, and I noticed that's the difference. And I noticed it probably doesn't favor aggressive players anymore, as far as that's concerned. So it is kind of like with MK11, it seems like it borrowed everything from every kind of game. So now it's more of like a Street Fighter 4 esque. But even Street Fighter 4, I was watching some gameplay. At the highest level, it's still a fast game. Granted, it might not have like a run button, and you might not be able to move freely as you want, but it's still a pretty fast game. So, uh, that's the only thing I gotta change really, because I still like it. I like the different dynamics that they had. They had the short hop with KOF. They had the regular jump. They had you could if you short hop someone and they go first. Like I seen it in gameplay. Someone tried to short hop sweep somebody and they short hopped it, and then they were like in the advantage, and then they punished them for it. So I thought that was super sick. Um, they added a new mechanic called crushing blows. Crushing blows is like the new X-ray, if you will. Uh, it only happens in the stipulation, so a lot of people like to compare it to Street Fighter Five, but I think it compares more to Soul Calibur because in Street Fighter Five, say like we use forward fierce or standing fierce, crush counters, right? Yeah, it's crush counter properties. And I want to say 9 times out of 10 it's going to crush counter. I can't think of a scenario where it necessarily doesn't. So whereas Soul Calibur, it's more of a counter hit. It got to be a certain thing, and then you get the lethal hit properties. And I think it's more so like that. And then on top of that, with crushing blow, as it's better than Soul Calibur in the sense of you could control it because there's an option to where you can hold it. So say one of the stipulations is like his Sub Zero slide, right? His amplified slide. I'm gonna have to get used to saying amplified. Amplified slide. If he does three of them, the third one crush blows, crushing blows. But it's like you have to set up for the third one, so that you have to spend 3 bars essentially to get that third one to do 35% damage. Yes, it does 35% damage on the slide, which is insane. But it's like you already have to hit 2 EX ones or amplified ones, and you have to basically set your opponent up for that. So it's like gotta be a mind game and stuff like that too. And then I guess if you tag wrong on a throw, there's that one. Uh, you get a crushing blow on that, and then if your opponent gets a counter, if you get a counter on a down two, basically if your opponent tries to hit you and you down to him, I think you get a crushing blow on that one as well. But it only activates 1 time per game, so that's also huge too. So say if Sub Zero's in this crazy set, he gets the first three EX slides in the first round and he gets the crushing blow and he wins the first round. He's not gonna get it again if he does three more EX slides the next round. And same thing with the throw. Well, I don't know. Yeah, the throw as well, and the same thing with the down two. So it's like it rewards the player that knows what they're doing, and but it also only happens once. So it's not the end all be all. So it's not like you can abuse it. So it's really a strategy, and it's like when do you want to use it, especially if you have it to where you could control it, and when do you unleash it too? Because your opponent could be setting you up for the third EX slide and never use it that whole game. So I like that dynamic. I think it's interesting. I like that you can punish people and make them count for more. And then on top of that, the new thing is fatal blows. I think essentially Rage Art and Tekken, where anytime you hit 30% left, you get basically the X-ray, but instead of X-ray, it's like a fatal blow. So like Scorpion takes the spears, puts them in your eyeballs, knocks you down, then kicks you, you go flying, then pulls you back, kick you in the face, and then he knocks you down. My bad, but yeah, that does 30% damage, and it's almost like a guarantee at the end of the round, right? But you only get that one time. So if they can block it and you get a 5%, 5 second cooldown, and then you get a chance at it again, but you only get that once. So it's all about making your stuff count in Mortal Kombat, which I think you've never really seen because it's like you'll spend you could wake up and do an X-ray, and if it doesn't work, then you're SOL. But at the same time, it's like I'll get it back eventually, and then I could try it again. Where it's like you'll get a fatal blow, but you only get that for 30 in the last 30% of your life. So if you mess up and you have to wait 5 seconds, you might lose and never get it back until the next game where you had 30% life again. So I like that. It's an interesting dynamic. Um, there's actually defense options now in this game. There's flawless block, which reduces the chip damage and recovery, but also it's essentially like it's hard. You can't. You can flawless block a string. I think you can flawless block anything. It's probably gonna be easier to do flawless blocks on projectiles more than anything because obviously you're seeing the projectile and it's coming at you at a certain rate. But if you know a string is probably plus and you flawless block, you might be able to like interrupt. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see a lot of flawless blocks, but people are trying it. There's the get up mechanic. The get up mechanic counts. There's also I forgot to mention. There's an offensive bar and a defensive bar, and they both have two bars, 2 meters each, and they recover on their own pace. And so that's an interesting dynamic. So essentially, instead of taking the stamina bar in MKX, they basically moved it to your meter. So you don't build meter in this game. You basically it's like a cooldown, and like in Overwatch or um like a League of Legends or a Paragon. So I'm kind of curious to see how the cooldown is. But to get up costs one offensive bar, one defensive bar, and it's either up two or up one, like up triangle, or up one. And the ways and I think there's less armor on it too, so medias are going to be super important in this game. And on top of that, it's like you have to like use it wisely, you know. Um, It's gonna be more footsie based. It's gonna be more slow, offense controlled. It's gonna reward the people that know how to punish. And I think like some of the best characters from the beta, just from or the demo that we saw, I definitely think Scorpion's one of the best. I definitely think Raiden's one of the best. And I think Scarlet's normals. A lot of them are forward advancing, long range. Like she had like I don't know if it was actually a sweep, but she had this low that was like it looked like the scythe, and it hit so like it hit gears from far range too. And I was like, dang, it's gonna be a slower, methodical game. It's gonna make you think. I think that's not a bad thing. Essentially, I think there's something from every community that has everybody that wants to do it and play it, and that's what I'm here for. I want to see the community live and prosper, and I love this community, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I love them. Mortal Kombat 11. Like I said, I wanted to break down videos for it. So hopefully I can. Hopefully you enjoy it. This is gonna be my very first one, so I still don't even know all the moves or terminology and things of that nature. But I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better. I promise you. Hopefully you loved it. Be sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, be her signing out. Peace.